So Hasim Rahman yesterday he made 206.6 pounds in his weigh-in, showing that he could have made less than 215. Probably he said that if he had to do it officially, he'd probably do it 205. So Hasim Rahman showed he could make weight, which is the bottom line was making weight the day. He probably would have been penalized maybe 50% of his purse, but at the end of the day, the fight would have been on. Um, I was listening to the Porter Way podcast and all the other people out there. Uh, you know, um, Jake Paul disappointed me because I really thought this guy was going to step up to the plate and actually face Hasim Rahman. And he's trying to talk about Rahman being unprofessional, which is bullshit. He's trying to talk about Rahman not making weight when that was not even an issue because it's all about weigh-in day. Jake Paul canceled the fight. Now Hasim Rahman and they pulling out the fight. They didn't pull out anything, and they proved it. They exposed Jake Paul. See, uh, I disagree with Sean Porter about Jake Paul being a legitimate pro boxer. Now, see, what Jake Paul did was pull out of a fight. He pulled out of a fight. He was looking for a way out, and he pulled out of a fight. Okay? And that's ducking, one. Two, this was going to be your first pro fighter, pro boxer. And the thing that makes this really bad and looks really bad is the fact that this dude talks about Tommy Fury was ducking him, which Tommy Fury was. But then he's stepping up several levels to a fighter who's way above him, bigger than him, better pedigree and everything. And instead of stepping up to the challenge that he says he's going to do, WBC trying to get incentives, saying if you beat this dude, you be in the top 15 rankings, top 10 rankings of the WBC, because that's a huge step up. Like I said before, that's a huge step up to face Hasim Rahman. And Jake Paul hyped us all up to believe that he was really serious about facing Hasim Rahman. Just talking all this talk about, all kinds of things. Well, ultimately, in the end, this dude's not even trying to have a fight with this dude. He's not trying to have a fight with Rahman. And it shows me he a chicken, he a fool, he a coward, and he's a clown. Jake Paul is not going to step up to face any pro boxer, so don't look for him to face any pro boxer anytime soon. All right? Don't expect him. He's a sideshow. He's a clown. I'm not even interested in him anymore. And I was rocking with the dude. I was saying, this guy, he trying to do something new, tries to do something different, and okay, let's see now, and let's see. See, there's a difference between facing a pro boxer and facing an MMA fighter, a wrestler, a basketball player, and a YouTuber. It's just a complete difference. Now, whether Jake Paul want to face KSI or some other YouTuber or some MMA fighter, that's up to him. Okay? But we ain't going to take you serious, Jake Paul, anymore if you don't step up and face a pro boxer, whether you lose or not. Pro boxers face pro boxers. That's how we know boxing. Not all this other crossover shit. We can't take you seriously with that. All right? So, I just wanted to say he's a clown. He did say he's not the face of boxing. He's the ass of boxing, which is true. He's an ass. And he's just a troll. And he's just building up his social media following. He's not serious about boxing. When you're serious about boxing, you follow through with what you say. And what he's showing is a flaw in his character. He's afraid to step up to the table and face, Hasim Rahman. And that, quite frankly, and take an ass whooping and see if you're going to continue your career in boxing. Now, there's lots of guys who are showmen in boxing. And we talking about guys with amateur backgrounds and everything, like Blair the Flair Clubs, Adrian Broner, step up to the plate. They got all this talk, but you can't back up your shit when it's time to back up your shit. You got to be able to back up your shit. You got to be able to back up that talk. All that talk that you gave, about this and what you gonna do to Hassim Rotman, all of that stuff, and how you gonna face Canelo and you become a world champion. All that talk you was talking, you have to back that shit up. You don't back shit up, nobody gonna take you seriously. And you haven't even faced a boxer yet, not one single boxer. But you're talking all this shit. All right. The guys who had their pro debut and actually faced other pro debut boxers, got faced other boxers. I don't care what their record was. They could have been 0-20. They still facing a boxer. And some of those boxers would beat the shit out of every single opponent Jake Paul has had. Because that's what they do. They do boxing. They have a lot of experience. So my point being, until Jake Paul starts facing boxers, and now obviously he's not going to go. He's obviously not going to face nobody 12-0. He has to face a boxer that's probably 5-0, 4-0, or maybe whatever. Maybe a couple fights. Maybe they have 10 fights max, and if so much, and maybe lose most of the 10 or something like that. You have to actually face guys because you're still a debutante as far as we're concerned in boxing. You haven't faced a pro boxer. So until you face a pro boxer, you're just a debutante. And you haven't stepped up and become a prospect yet. Okay? So Jake Paul hasn't done anything in the sport of boxing. Not one damn thing. He's good at selling tickets. He has his fan base. I ain't mad at him for that. But in terms of being serious about the sport and applying himself, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. Okay? And I'm not tuning into no more shit with this dude. This dude was about to face Hasim Rahman, which was much better. I was totally interested in the fight. I thought Hasim Rahman would beat him. But nonetheless, I wanted to see two things. I wanted to see, even would he make it to the finish line in the fight? Was his fortitude like? Two, I wanted to see if what he would do after taking an L, because I wanted to see if he was really serious about boxing, if he was committed to boxing. This guy's a flake. All right, he trying to do a Mayweather thing in the sense that he trying to be undefeated and show how great he is and all that, but he don't want to step in the ring with a boxer. So he's a side fucking show. He's not for real. All these fake ass fighters that he be facing, and I call them fake ass fighters because they're not boxers, don't mean shit. Okay? So until this dude actually accomplished something in boxing, fuck him. And that's that. That's all I got to say about him. Sorry about the F bombs and everything, but this dude, he's a clown. He's a clown, and that's the way how that's gonna stay. All right, and people in the boxing fraternity. See, one thing to insult the boxing fraternity by saying you're gonna beat a guy with an amateur background. A guy with extensive amateur background, several levels above you in terms of experience. Okay, it's insulting to say that to start with, because you're saying the due process that happens in boxing, whether it's from the going through the amateur program, and then afterwards then working your way up the pro ranks. You just want to skip everything and say you can beat a guy who's bigger than you, who's got more experience than you, is more skilled than you. You know, it's just an insult. And then on top of that, call the guy unprofessional. On social media, and then on top of that, you want to say he's ducking you. Get the man, dude. The dude's a clown. He's an ass. And now I ain't got nothing to do with this dude. The dude is a clown. I was defending this dude before. I'm saying, he's a fucking clown. Okay, don't care about him. Don't care what he does. He, as far as I'm concerned, he could go to hell. He's a waste. He's a waste of boxing. He's full of shit, and he doesn't really want to step up to the plate when it's really time to step up to the plate. He flakes out. So he not ready for nothing. He not ready for no pro boxer right now. You know what I mean? And pro boxers looking at him like dinner because his attitude tells us he's a flake. You want to, his whole team advised him against that, of course. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this dude need to work his way through the pro ranks. Okay? He not ready for Tommy Fury even. What he just showed there showed he'd flake out. Tommy Fury would beat his ass. And Tommy Fury's smaller than him. And he's been feeding off a guy smaller than him as well, Jake Paul. So it is what it is. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm what you need. You're watching my channel. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.